Well, I mean, I can tell you from my perspective, my experience.
Because what I like about you is, even though I don't know you, you're like, this is what I believe, and you're very confident in your beliefs, but you're not an asshole.
I don't think I am, man, but
them.
I don't think a lot of people, I think there's plenty of people in this town who would disagree with that.
Really?
And they're like, yeah, he is an ass. Oh my God, man. The level of hate that I've gotten in the last 10 months is extraordinary.
Well,
and it's fine. I mean, I accept it. But,
why would you have hate? What's the deal?
well, my views are outside of what we now deem to be acceptable here, and around the country, around the world, my views are not unusual. They're just unusual for Hollywood or for New York or for DC, the media centers, the cultural centers. There's a limit to what you're allowed to say. And I mean, obviously, you know that, like the censorship on YouTube and on Instagram and Twitter, and they're censoring a particular view, I don't think that you have to censor ideas because I don't think ideas can be dangerous. If the idea is not true, then you should be able to have a conversation about it and realize it's not true. And that takes away the danger right there.
Agreed.
But no one, the people in cultural power now don't believe that. So for me, man, last year, I was just like everybody else. I was like, oh, wow, maybe this could be really dangerous and really bad. And I had been listening to podcasts about it, studying about it before we ever locked down. And when they said 2 weeks to slow the spread, I was like, all right, I can get on board with that. Like, we're going to have these 2 or 3 weeks where parents are home from their jobs and they get to spend time with their children, maybe time that they would not have otherwise. Like, I have a friend who's a comedian who had just had a kid, and it was like I thought, what a blessing that you don't have, even if you're going to take the night off and not go do sets for a little while, now you don't even have to think about it. Now you can just stay at home, relax, get to know your baby, be there as a father.
Mm-hmm.
And I was stoked for him. And I thought that stuff was really great. Like, you can reconnect with your family, maybe try a new project that you've been putting off, get something done on your house, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, we don't have a choice. We have to make something positive out of this situation. And then when 2 weeks became 4 weeks, and when 4 weeks became 4 months, and now we're 10 months in. And
almost 11.
Yeah, and there's no indication. Yeah, you're right, almost 11. And there's no indication that we're ever going to have concerts. We're ever going to go down to the Staples Center and see a game. That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, one of my initial thoughts was societies fight wars, right? Throughout history, societies have fought wars. And the point is to keep the society going. It's not to try to solve death. And rather than trying to keep our society going, we instead got this mindset where if we just did this and this and this and this enough, then we can solve death. And then people won't die. And if the disease had a 3 or 4% kill rate, I get that. Then we have to be really careful. But it doesn't have that. The infection fatality rate says legitimately by the statistics that 1 or 2 out of 1,000 people can potentially die. Almost all of those people are old and with multiple comorbidities. And that doesn't describe the vast majority of the population. And it doesn't really describe any of the active part of the population, the people who are going to work to feed their kids, the kids going to school. And we stopped all the things we didn't need to stop so that we could pretend to save lives that we can't save.
But what do you say to people that are in the IU, though? I mean, ICU. I mean,
well, I don't.
I'm not
denying their disease.
The way you say that, though, it sounds cold. It's like, or older people and comorbidities. Like, we need to protect those people as best as we can, and I believe that we should have some, we have to attack it in a good way, but I mean, everybody deserves a chance to live.
Of course.
So are you saying that we could have just prepared it a better way?
Yeah, I think that you have to protect people who are at risk and let everybody else live their lives. I mean, the idea that we can have top-down enforcement on things like masking and social distancing and tell like restaurateurs that, sorry, your business just doesn't exist anymore. And we only have to do that in California and New York and Illinois and Washington, D.C. But it's fine in Florida because Florida opened fully at the end of last September. That's now 4.5 months ago. Where's the huge outbreak in Florida? There hasn't been one. And they don't talk about it.
I don't know. I thought Florida had some issues. I don't know, but I do know that last night people were just out after the Super Bowl, like there was no disease. And so that's a big, huge fucking mixed message of why are they out and we can't get a burrito.
Right.
So my question is, I guess, what do you think is happening?
What do I think's happening overall?
Yeah. Is it the Great Reset?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's just a real thing. And the idea that we have to talk about the Great Reset as if it's a conspiracy theory is insane to me. John Kerry talks about it. Justin Trudeau talks about it. Klaus Schwab talks about it. You can find plenty of videos. In fact, they advertised the thing. There was a YouTube video about it a couple of weeks ago, and I think it was from the World Economic Forum. But
yeah, there's a lot of that.
yeah, they have no problem talking about what it is they want. And
they want, just to be clear, they want us at home, streaming, digitally paying, chipped up. Chipped up, well, and don't be crazy with the term chip up. I'm talking like, I know what I believe. I'm scared to share it, but it's like basically they want to know where we're at.
Yeah.
Eyes on us.
Well, that was pretty obvious from the beginning when they started talking about contact tracing. And you notice they don't really talk about contact tracing anymore.
No.
They talk
and
about...
they slid that update in the phone.
Oh, they did. Yeah. I haven't updated my iPhone in 6 months. I don't update apps. I'm off the social media.
Okay.
I don't do any of it. But that is not a conspiracy theory. It just isn't. And if you're going to call it that, then you have to then say that John Kerry is a conspiracy theorist. And honestly, for the amount that I get called a conspiracy theorist, John Kerry is actually a much bigger conspiracy theorist than I am. I don't know how we have gotten to the point where we just dismiss everything that disagrees with the central narrative as if it is just the crazy rantings of a lunatic.
I don't understand that either. I you know, that's a deep convo, but it's bizarre to me because what I do, you know, I'm a comedian and I'm an actor, and that's what we do is, you know, especially comics, you express ideas and thoughts and go, hey, let me look at this another way.
Yeah.
You know, instead of the narrative being, you know, you should get married by X amount of time and have a kid. Well, here's why marriage is a scam. That's what a comic's take would be on it. But now, I mean, it's pretty clear that you're not allowed to say certain things. And if you are, you're going to get silenced. If it's not hate speech and it's just an alternative idea, why is that?
Yeah, but the truth is, you know, man, like, and I'm not a proponent of hate speech, but when we've started to redefine everything, including hate speech, it gets to a point where you're like, okay, well, if we're going to say that hate speech is worthy of banning, and I could be open to that argument.
No, dude, you
can't keep redefining hate speech until it's whatever you want it to be.
You meaning, yes.
Because then what you're doing is just censoring.
Yes. But you agree that hate speech should not be tolerated.
In terms of the social media platforms, fine. And in terms of personal relationships, fine. But I don't think that we need to criminalize it, like have the government enforce it upon people. You know what I mean? Because, again, not promoting that it's a good thing, but I think that the best way...
Sounds a little bit. You got to be careful. You got to promote that the right... No, you got to phrase that the right way. Because people, you really have to think about how to phrase that.
But again, what is hate speech?
Well, that's a different conversation.
But that's the important conversation.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it's great. We can all say that we don't like hate speech. I don't like hate speech. You don't like hate speech. There's no one out there who's like, yeah, hate speech.
Well, there are people out there. There's
How
obvious
many?
extreme groups.
Yes.
I don't know the numbers.
Fringes. And those exist on the left too. And there is no censorship going on for that hate speech.
Yes, I agree. I agree
Yeah.
in that. But some jokes might be considered hateful, and it's like it's a joke. It's so
Jokes from 10 years ago are considered totally out of bounds now, and you can get canceled for them.
yes.
Canceled.
Yes.
Not you can get like scolded or people think maybe you're kind of a dick. That's what normal people do.
Yes.
Ending your career, ending your ability to make an income, ending your ability to participate in polite society. That's not like a reasonable reaction to someone saying something 10 years ago that you don't like. Are you the same person you were 10 years ago? I'm not.
No.
You know?
No, but it's also like I believed in being able to make a misstep.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's okay. That's how I don't believe in someone being erased for a misstep. Now, obviously, there's levels to missteps. If it's a horrific misstep. But now, things that are considered horrific might be minuscule to some people. So the missteps don't seem to really be tolerated.
That's not why I came to Hollywood.
Fucking backwards.
Bullshit.
I hate to break it to you.